Hi guys, Ray here from City Fan TV, and I'm joined by Bernard Deneen, who is the bee in the bank. How you doing, buddy?
I certainly am. The bee in the bong.
How's the weather where you are, mate? It's a bit cold and wet.
Let's have a look. Yeah, grey, but bright.
Yeah. It's a bit similar here, and I've got a beard, man. I've got a beard.
I don't know what's going on. Are you just
Not
being
good.
lazy, or are you growing it?
Lazy. Well, I'm going away tomorrow, so it's just simply being lazy. I've had no external work to do. I think that I must have shaved last week because last weekend actually we went out. So it's been a while. It's been 10 days or 12 days. So but it makes me look like Eric Cantona. So I'm gonna have to get rid of that.
Yeah, you believe what you want, mate.
As long as it doesn't make me look like Prince Andrew, I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm all right.
Another Australian ex-singers, comedians, or artists.
I'm all right, Jimmy. Jimmy Deneen. James Deneen, that's the one. James Deneen. Anyway, let's be serious. Let's be serious for a minute, okay? We are here to talk about the FA Cup. FA Cup quarterfinal between Manchester City, the treble winners, FA Cup holders. We should always mention that whenever we talk about games, like the game between Liverpool was between champions Manchester City and Liverpool. This game is between FA Cup winners, treble winners, Manchester City and Newcastle at home on Saturday, isn't it? Saturday. Half five. Yeah, I got. Have you got your ticket? I got my ticket. Even though
I think some extra ones went on sale recently. I don't know if they're returns or exchanges. I don't know.
There's no chance of me flogging mine because I got my ticket. I paid for it because I'm on the cup scheme, but I'm in Ireland on Saturday. I can't get over to watch the game. I've thought about it. Sometimes I'm free when we've got a game, but it's like, well, I've got to fly back and get back, and I'm rushing. It's
I don't know. I told my lad when to get his ticket and get his normal seat because you get a bit of a window. He's not on the cup scheme, and he just doesn't do it. And I don't even know if he's got a ticket now. I'm not even asked him. I can't be bothered.
Yeah, well, there's no way. If the game was Sunday, I'd have thought about it because I got the day off Sunday. But Saturday, I'm working in a theatre. They sold about 250 tickets already, so I think I best turn up. I'll get sued. Actually, I get my contract. You don't turn up, you get sued without a valid reason. Oh yeah, I'm not well, and then they see me running across the Etihad turf after we win, after we beat them 8-0. Anyway, enough jesting aside. Big game, obviously. We want to maintain our grip on the FA Cup, which is ours now, isn't it? Almost.
That's what I mean. At the moment, I don't want to lose any of our treble, but obviously, law says we have to at some stage. But
you're right. The longer we can say treble winners, we'll always be treble winners, but we're still the current treble winners. There's only been two. We're still treble winners, and until we, can't mathematically win the league, or we're still champions on all that. But we're still in all competitions. Admittedly, it's the third choice out of the three. Is that fair to say?
Well, it is, but I think that's disrespecting it, isn't it? Will we be happy winning just the FA Cup this season? Yeah, we will, but obviously we'll be disappointed as well.
Yeah. Oh no, I think we would be. Yeah, you're probably right. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We would be. I think overall happy, obviously, to win something. We're always happy to win something, but if we've got a choice, it's not one of the three that we want. I think it's important to realize when our next game is, because that's going to affect our mentality. Because is it after this we've got the international break after the FA Cup? Yeah. So we've got 2 weeks off. So there's none of this namby-pambying around and resting players and looking after them. We don't look after them for the international team. We should be going out as strong as possible. So that's good that we haven't got a really important game midweek that we have to consider. So that obviously that's going to benefit us. What else is going to help us is we've had basically a week off since the last game. So that's going to be a huge bonus for us in terms of, we're not going to look at players and say they're unfit, they're tired, or anything like that. I don't want any excuses. Okay. And to finish my preamble, Newcastle lost last night. They're struggling in the league. They've not got all their players back. They lost to Chelsea. All right, Chelsea, you could argue, are getting better. Cole Palmer at the double yesterday. So all that is in the melting pot. Okay, so I'll start off with, how big a game is this for both sides?
Well, it's their only way into Europe, isn't it? They're not going to get in Europe any other way. Newcastle, and part of their package and part of their going forward is they really want to be competing. All right, they won't be competing in the Champions League, but there's no chance of that. So, I assume they get in the Europa, do they? They win the FA Cup.
Yeah.
So, and they've got to do it. I mean, for their own sakes, at the moment, they're struggling. They've been obviously caught with the FFP and various things, and it's sort of, impacted us, of course, back in the day. But of course, we'd already done certain things before, and the Newcastle haven't had that opportunity, and they're paying the price. Just seeing how hard it is to get bypass this. So, but they need European football, just from a financial point of view, although it's not the biggest money spinner, is it? The Europa, not the
it's
biggest
money spinner. I mean, look, if you can get deep in it, you can get whatever, 30 million quid, 40 million quid. That is huge.
It's big for them. It's big for Newcastle. I expect him to play the strongest team he can play, in the same reasons as us. He doesn't have any games coming up. Eddie Howe's probably walking a tightrope at the moment. How things have been going. It's important for him to have a go, and I think they're more forgiving if they go out having a go than if they go out feebly. And I think, whether he'll stay or not's another matter. But at least for Eddie Howe's sake, as a manager, I think he's got to go for this, which means Pep in some ways. I'm a bit scared he will rest certain players, but I think Pep has to be strong as well in this one, because we still want our treble, and we're still going for 3 trophies, and we want to play our best team.
I don't think you can pick sides worrying about people getting injured. Maybe he might. I can see Rodri not playing. If I'm right, a yellow card in the FA Cup would mean he'd miss the Arsenal game. I can't remember these.
Yeah, I still don't know what it is. I know he's okay for Arsenal at the moment, but as you say, but if that is the case, I wouldn't be having Rodri in my team this week.
I wouldn't have him even on the bench. I'd just say go back to Spain, mate. But anyway, we'll come to that in a second. So
I'm sure someone knows somewhere, mate, but I've not come across anyone who does.
Guys, anybody who knows, tell us, ignorant old fools, what the score is. My next question is this a glamour tie? Is it still a glamour tie like it was in 1974? Was it, or 76?
It's a funny word. It should be a good game. It should be it's on BBC, isn't it? On BBC. It should be a cracking game for the TV audience, which is, of course, we had one of those last week, didn't we? But a bit nerve-wracking for us lot. But, so it doesn't do any harm, put it that way, as far as neutrals are concerned, to see a cracking game between two teams going for it, which is we'll talk about a predicted score. Is reflected in my scoreline for this one. But, I'm just hoping it is an entertaining game. Is it a big game? Well, yeah, in theory, but Newcastle on a bit of a leveled out a bit at the moment. They're not inspiring, are they, at the moment, with the football, with the position in the league, and of course they've been unlucky. I think they lost Trippier, didn't they, against Wolves? So I think he's missing as well now. But they have got a couple of players back as well. So yeah, just for Newcastle's sake, they need that exposure, and at the moment they're just trundling along, and it's no good for them, is it?
Yeah, I mean, look, you talked about their league position. They sat there in 10th, a point out of Chelsea, who've got a game in hand. Getting into Europe, you mentioned, it's tough. It's not impossible, because West Ham are at the moment sat in the Europa Conference League position. They're on 43 points. Well, Newcastle are on 40. So it's not inconceivable. Catching United, who are in the Europa League spot, that's not easy, because they're on 47 points. Making up 7 points in 10 games, it's not beyond them, but it's not easy. And they're not a team in tremendous form. They won 2 and drawn 1 of the last 5. Wolves are above them now. You'd probably bank on Wolves finishing above them the way things are going at the moment. And Brighton are above them. So there's a lot of teams above them. It's not going to be easy. And obviously Chelsea are breathing down their necks as well. So you're right, getting into Europe is going to be tough. The money that they're going to miss out is going to make it tough. And anytime, same as at Chelsea, when people talk about FFP, they talk about teams needing to sell players. And there was a rumour today, I read that Bruno Guimaraes has been linked with £100 million move to Manchester City. Now, I don't know if that's a legitimate thing. I don't know if that's because they need the money. I don't know if that's because we're playing him on the weekend that this link has come. But you're right. It's a big. It is a big tie. There's a lot of pressure on Eddie Howe, as you say, and I still think it has some glamour. Look, there's going to be 7,000 or 8,000 semi-naked Geordies in Manchester.
Not a pretty sight, no.
Well, they get 15% of the tickets, so that's 7,500, just over.
Yeah, they got the top tier, haven't they? I don't know how much it holds, obviously.
Yeah, but no, they'll have between 7 or at least 7,500 fans there. Maybe 8,000. So it's going to be noisy. They're going to make a lot of noise, and I hope it's hailstoning. And it's windy and heavy rain. A lot of hailstones on Saturday evening between about 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock, and that's it. Hailstones as big as golf balls. But it's going to be an interest. I think the atmosphere is going to be interesting because they will make more noise than us. It's no question about that. It's just what away fans do, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you're very hard as a home team to, of course, I think we struggled from listening on the telly against Liverpool. I thought, obviously, I hardly ever heard
We had our lads. We had our lads at the end.
A little bit at the end, yeah. But I mean, throughout the game, it was. But it's difficult, isn't it? And it's always difficult for the home team, especially, of course, we'll have that bit that's usually for the away fans, but of course, you tend to get more touristy people in there, so it doesn't help the atmosphere at all. But we'll just have to try and make as much noise. We don't do too bad. I don't think we do too bad, considering. I think we've been okay in the FA Cup and League Cup this season.
I think we have, but we're not going to be able to. I don't think we're going to compete against 8,000 Geordies.
No, not to get it together, but they can be quiet. I think.
I think they'll be noisy. The thing is, there's a difference between away fans and home fans, because your home fans, they're all dispersed, and the away fans. One of the that's not the reason to go, but one of the big things about going is the singing and the chants and whatever, and so many more people get involved, and it's always in a concentrated area, so it resonates around the ground. Whereas if they're in pockets,
yeah,
and I think that's going to be, because where's our noisy section? Where's our singing section? It's going to be under the Newcastle fans, isn't it? You're going to get drowned out, mate, and that's just my thoughts on that. Anyway, let's talk Newcastle in not good form, like you say. So that should obviously influence the way the game goes. Their recent results haven't been pretty. They go up and down. That's their problem.
They didn't play bad. The stats against Chelsea, I didn't see the match myself like you didn't, but the stats they were pretty even. It was a pretty even game.
Yeah.
So they still have a go, even though they got a few problems. That's Eddie Howe, isn't it? That's how Eddie Howe plays football, which is great.
So they're just inconsistent. So they lost to Chelsea 3-2. Before that, they beat Wolves 3-0, and Wolves were on a good run. Before that, it was the FA Cup game against Blackburn, which they drew 1 each, and obviously won on penalties. Before that, they were pathetic against Arsenal. Before that, 2-2 draw at home against Bournemouth. Before that, they'd won 3-2 at Forest. Before that, a crazy game. All the crazy teams put in scores like this: 4-4 against Luton at home. And going back into January, they're a bit better in January, where they beat Villa away from home. They beat Fulham away from home. They'd lost to us, obviously. It's normal. But generally, they're a slightly inconsistent side. So are we going to see the good side of Newcastle this weekend or the bad side?
I think it depends on what team Pep puts out, mate. I think if we put a strong team out, I don't think they'll be able to cope with us. They're not, but we've not hammered them, have we? We're obviously in the league when we beat them at there. We didn't hammer them, and they've got again the sort of style of football that can hurt us because they have a go, and we know we are susceptible to a team who likes to have a go. We can work through teams who like to put 10 men behind the ball. We can eventually get the goals, but Newcastle have a go, and that's that's reflected in my scoreline later. I just think it'll be a good game, and we've certainly got to be better defensively, perhaps. But we keep saying that every game, don't we?
Don't happen, mate. Don't happen. Okay, since the game is going to depend on the team Pep puts out, let's go through that. Let's go see who you got. I'll tell you what. I'll start us off. I'll start us off with I'll make the hard decisions. I'll start. More chance of Willie Carson than Scott Carson starting this. I'm going to go for Stefan Ortega Moreno.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Lewis.
I'll agree. I think Lewis deserves a chance.
I think Walker needs a rest.
Yeah, he needs to be dropped, mate. No one needs a rest. He needs to be dropped.
I'm being kind to our captain, El Capitan.
Yeah, I know what. I'm going to pick one centre back because I know who's going to be left back. And it's good. We've got a choice. I'm going to go for Johnny Stones, centre back.
Diaz has surely got to play. He missed the last one. He's got to come in, but of course you're now ignoring the Kanji.
Yeah, I expect Pep to possibly go with the Kanji and Diaz, but I'm going for Johnny Stones because he's.
Yeah, I think, as you say, I would have rested Stones if there wasn't the fact there's no games. I mean, so why rest him? But I'm puzzled on that one.
Here's the other thing: if you're playing Rico Lewis, do you really need John Stones?
Yeah.
So on that basis, I can see a Kanji and
Diaz.
But I want Stones and Diaz. Who's your left back then?
Well, of course, Aki's dropped because of his mess the other day, so he's dropped. Our best defender's dropped, and we're bringing the Superman, don't we, Gavardiol?
Not for me, but
not for me either. But I know what Pep's. He's been on the bench. He's missed the game out last week, so he's got to get a game now, surely.
Yeah. No, he was injured, weren't he? So he's back now. So yeah, he'll play. Midfield. So we're going to start with the DM. Are you going to go with Rodri? You can rest him?
I don't. As I say, we need clarification on what this thing is. But having said that, if he does, even if he's okay for the Arsenal game, we've got Villa after that, haven't we?
Yeah. So I'd rest him.
I'd go Kovacic.
Yeah, I agree. Kovacic.
With Lewis coming to his, working around him.
Yeah, absolutely no arguments there. Who is your attacking midfield then?
Oh, this is where it gets difficult now, doesn't it? I mean, Nunes has to be due a game, doesn't he?
We can pick him, but not in attacking midfield.
Yeah. I think Bernard will be rested.
He's been playing out wide. But I want two attacking midfielders.
Well, KDB.
Yeah.
Is he going to play KDB and Foden?
I hope so.
Do you think?
They're the best two, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, they're fit enough. I mean, KDB's fit. He just hooked him.
KDB should be fit. He only played 65 minutes the other day. He had
listen, if he's playing his strongest team, there's absolutely no reason in hell that he can't play KDB and Foden.
I agree. Up front?
Well, Lummox has got to play, hasn't he? Surely.
He'll never be dropped. So, yeah, he plays.
So, how many have we got left now? We've got Nunes. If we're going to play Nunes.
I'll have Nunes.
Just one, is it?
I'll have Nunes. You got one more player. You don't want to say it.
Well, he went for. Didn't he go for Bob last time in the FA Cup to start?
Possibly right there. No,
I'd go Bob. I'd leave Doku on the bench and play Bob and forget Alvarez.
Didn't Bob start the Champions League game?
He did start a big game, didn't he? I do remember I got surprised that he started the game. It might have been the Champions. Yeah, it might have been the Copenhagen game, mightn't it? Yeah, I think you're right. But really, I'd start Bob. I'd start him over Doku. I'd start him over Alvarez. But I mean, is Alvarez just going to be rested now? But he had the worst game I've seen for a while. Is he just going to be rested by Pep now?
And Jack's still injured, isn't he? Or is he on his way back?
I think Jack's still out of this.
So you're going for Oscar Bob, Bernardo on the bench, Alvarez on the bench. I'll go along with that because Alvarez needs to buck up a bit. Alvarez is always tough. I said it last time. He's a lucky player. Champions League.
I still don't think he plays him where he's best. He gets that with Argentina. We've seen him. That's the only other team I've seen him play for. He gets away with it because of what's around him, and he expects a bit too much of Alvarez. I think Pep sometimes. He has a tendency of throwing certain players under the bus. I think at times, and that's what he's tended to do.
Yeah, I know. But I want to see a bit more of Bob, because there's many things going on with Oscar Bob, because I think he signed a new contract, but he doesn't want to go down the route of Cole Palmer or Jadon Sancho, or players who are unhappy because they're not getting enough time. You've got to eventually give them time. I'm going to just throw this out there because I mentioned him. If Cole Palmer was available to City right now in the form he's showing for Chelsea, would he get into this City side?
It'd be very thought of. Yes, I think he would, because certain guys haven't picked up the chances after that we would have hoped they would.
Yeah. He'd definitely be in the first team squad, but he was before.
Yeah.
Would he get into this side ahead of Alvarez? For you?
For me personally, probably, yeah.
I think he's more dangerous. I think he loses the ball a bit more, but I think he's more dangerous.
Well, he can't lose the ball more than Alvarez did the other day. I think me and you might have, been able to hold on to it a little bit better at times. But having said that, I'm not going to quibble, because I'll tell you what, it's a hell of a game against Liverpool, trying to keep hold of that ball and play slick passes all over the place. You can't do it. You just can't do it at Anfield or against Liverpool on their own place.
Okay, so we picked our side that Pep, if he's clued up, he'll do the same as well. He'll pick the same places as we have. As I said, Oscar Bob, I don't want him to go down that route where he just not plays and he'll not develop enough. And yes, we want to win the game, but
will we lose anything by playing Bob over Doku and Alvarez? I don't think we will.
No, because if it's our third choice, then it's our third choice competition to go for. Obviously, we want to win it because we might win. We might win nothing this season. We're in everything.
Yeah,
we might win.
No God-given right, mate. Isn't it? We're not on. We've been on fire a lot hotter than we are this season at the moment.
Well, when Liverpool are winning it all, mate, even the Champions League, they're going to win that. It's Klopp's final season.
Even though they're not in it, yeah.
They win everything. That's what I'm saying.
They get a late buy. They get a late pass into it.
Yeah. All right, then let's see it. I'm going to get a score prediction first, because normally I'm.
Don't nick mine. I know what mine. Don't you nick my score prediction?
Normally I'm very polite and I'll let you go through.
I put mine out on social media. Actually, you probably haven't seen it, but it's already out there somewhere.
Well, I'm going to Newcastle. I'm going to go Newcastle. Going to get 2. But you would never pick 3. You would never say 3-2 to City. I doubt that. You're more of a. I'm going to go Man City 5, Newcastle 2.
Oh, that's all right.
What did you go for?
4-2.
Oh, I was thinking 4-2.
Well, when you said Newcastle 2, and then you said you'd never say 3, I thought, oh God, he's going to predict 4-2 now.
I was thinking to myself, Bernard's more. I was thinking Bernard's more likely to pick 4 than 5, so I'll go for 5 because hey, I didn't think you'd go. It was 50-50, but you're going 4-2. Who's scoring for us then? Go on.
Bob 1, Haaland 2, Foden 1.
I'm going
4 assists from KDB.
I'm going to go KDB to score.
He should be up for this, shouldn't he, really, KDB?
I'm going to have KDB to score.
I'm not saying he's not up for games, but he should be firing for this one.
Yeah. KDB to score and Oscar Bob to get 3. Bob. If you say Bob, he'll get Bob all now, won't he? But no, in all seriousness, no, KDB to score 1, Haaland to score 1. Phil Foden to score 2. It's not what you said, is it?
No.
I remember, can you?
I can.
Who do you say to score our 4
Alan
goals?
2, Foden and Bob.
Okay, I'm getting 5 goals, aren't I? Sorry, I've got another name.
Ortega.
Nunes.
It'd be a shock, mate. He doesn't score many.
It's a shock if he plays, but I'm going Nunes.
Him and Kovacic don't exactly contribute many goals.
There you go, guys. I'm going for a 5-2. Bernard's going for 4-2. Let us know in the comments below what you reckon. Are City going to win? Is he going to go to penalties? I have no idea.
Wembley awaits, mate. Another trip to Etihad South awaits.
Yeah. When are the FA Cup semi-finals?
I don't know. I know I booked that weekend off, but I don't know when. I can't remember when.
Oh, I'll tell you. Why did they show me the Women's FA Cup? What date is the FA Cup semi-final 2024? I knew it. 20th and 21st of April. I knew it. I didn't need to check my diary because I just knew it. Because I'm in Athens. Got a few days over there.
Well, you want us to get knocked out then, mate, so you don't miss it, don't you? Listen, it's only going to be United and Liverpool we end up bloody playing. It's not much fun anyway, so I won't worry about it.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Who do you want to win from United and Liverpool?
Who do I want to win, or who do I think will win?
I know the 2 different answers.
Yeah. Can they not get thrown out? Both get thrown out for some technicality. And someone else get dragged back in.
I'm guessing you want United to win, but you think Liverpool will spank them.
Yeah.
I think that's reasonable. I want United to win.
I never say I want United to win.
No. Well, I would prefer United to win so that we can spank him at Wembley again. That would be nice. Right, guys, that's enough. Rubbish from us. As I said, let us know what your score predictions are. Be honest. Don't be silly. Don't say 5-2 and stuff like that. But give us a proper scoreline. And let us know.
Go to penalties, of course. I
don't want it. Don't want it to go to penalties. We've got some good penalty takers, but I just don't want it. I just want to win comfortably and watch the game or listen to it on the radio or whatever, wherever I am. Yeah, I think I'll be driving back at. Was it 5:30? Yeah, I won't be watching the game, so I'll be listening on radio, on Tinternet radio. Right, I better shoot. That's a message for me. I've got to catch up with work. Thanks so much, Bernard. Thanks, guys, for watching. Take care, and we'll see you around Blues.